Hello everyone, welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm Lotro's Community Manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out in chat, answering your questions, and going to be running a few of the new instances here with Update 29. Maybe check out a little bit of the Spring Festival as well, and yeah, so that's really what we have on tap here today. Hope everyone is having a good time. Hello, Blossomberry, Haley Hunt, Benzu, Citadel over on Twitch, K-Wolf, Little Redhead. Also, congrats, Little Redhead. Week 2 of your new stream here on Lotra Stream happened this week, so please check that out if you would like to over on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I am just quick checking to make sure all of our chat rooms are going. It looks like YouTube is here as well. Hello, Ari Cassidy and Meredith. And then also, let me check Facebook. Where'd my Facebook go? There we are. Hello, Erica, Deborah, Lesuardo, Mark, Trevor, and Nathaniel, Quera. Nice to see everyone over on Facebook as well. Zachary is kicking off our Q&A. Any possibility of basically changing our free-to-play model to match other games, like letting you play to level 50 for free or something like that? We're always looking at ways to, improve our, free-to-play, premium, VIP experience. It's possible that someday in the future we'd make some changes to free-to-play, but that would be all kind of speculative stuff. I don't know that I would really see us doing more of a demo model, which is really more what that is based on, is kind of the old game demo model. But, we're never 100% set in stone on really any of our free-to-play premium or VIP offerings, because we want to make it as good as it can be for both you and us. New haircut? No, actually just a little bit of a late shower and it's back in a ponytail. That's all that's going on there. Yeah. Alright, over on YouTube, can we have the curator for the anniversary celebration? I will make sure to tell our e-commerce team that you would like that. Have I watched Mythic Quest? I have not, because I don't have the service it's on, but I've seen a couple, like a bunch of clips and things from it. Including the kind of infamous episode about the community manager. Which I found pretty amusing. So, I would say for those who do know Mythic Quest, though, I think it's an exaggeration, kind of like The Office for game development. In that show, and again, I haven't seen anything other than a bunch of clips in that community manager episode, but they tend to make it more adversarial on the show than I have ever found it to be in real life. So I guess that's how my experience differs from Mythic Quest, but, yeah. But it's funny, and, it is a comedy, right, so. William over on Facebook, I don't have an ETA on specific class improvements. I do know that our team will be continuing to work on it. There was a bunch of, things that you saw in Update 29. And we would expect to see further work in the future. Loading screen issues, Eileen over on Facebook is having. Yes, we are aware of that. It is not the top priority. The top priority I'll get to in a second. But it is right up there next to it. So we are working to try to identify some game performance improvements we can make, and hopefully make those in the near future. Hopefully that'll help with some of the load screen and other issues that are going on. Thank you for changing the skill toggles back. Yes, that was a tricky one. Not so much that hey, a toggle's an easy solution, right? Do what you want. But we were mostly trying to say, well, do we really just pull it? Because, remember, some of the reason for the change as well is accessibility. We had some kind of photosensitivity and migraine-related complaints about our new UI that we had implemented. And part of that UI was done to address accessibility complaints, specifically some visual kind of acuity things and like that. So anyway, I think where we're going to end up is some people are going to prefer the old, some people are going to prefer the new, and it'll be an option. And that'll be a good solution. Hopefully we can do that in the relatively near future. The reason we can't promise an ETA right now is we're going to have to fit it in as an engineering task. And our engineering task list is at its quest limit. But we're doing our best to squeak it in anyway. And so as soon as we can get that done, we will. Yep. I am not specifically Bjorn over on Twitch talking about a next-gen upgrade. Nothing to say at all about something like that. Yes, Ryan, we are aware of an uptick in lag concerns, and it is something that we have been working on and are continuing to work on. It's a top priority. Nothing to announce, George, on Facebook about when PvMP gear might be getting an update. Is there a plan to add two-handed legendary weapons to Valar weapon packs? Ooh. I will have to write that one down and pass that one along so I don't forget it. I don't know. I don't know why we don't have two-handed legendary weapons in the Valar packs. That does seem like an oversight, doesn't it? Dieter, we could pass along the instance locks for missions, the 10 mission lockout for an hour being challenging when doing dailies in Wildwood. We can let the team know about that. All right. One brief swing through all the chat rooms. Let's see. There we are there. There we are there. I think we're caught up enough. I want to get to something more interesting than you looking at a spinning ring. And I'm going to do that in a second by running one of the new U29 instances. Alright. Yeah, we're caught up enough. Let's do it. I am over in the Spring Festival. I've got a Spring Festival outfit on, just for fun. Alright, why don't we do... let's try War of the Willow. We'll go in on single, tier 1. Because I am multitasking, then I'm gonna try dropping the level down just a little bit. See if that makes it a little easier for me to be able to multi-do it. Sorry if I'm going in on wimpy mode.
In the heart of the old forest, a fell sword calls forth evil spirits from the barrow down.
I just have my hair in a ponytail. That's all that's going on here.
Troll's blight from spreading and end the forest's misery.
That audio seemed high. I had it up because I was playing last night. You've sent me a message on the Lotro forums. Okay, I will take a look at that today. I would mention a programming note as well. This is as good a time for it as any. That programming note is that there will not be a show next week. I'm taking a week off. I've got my son with me for his spring break this next week. And I'm doing a custody transfer, you know, with his mother and all that. And that's a bit of a long drive and such. So, I will not be here next Friday. So there will not be Court of the Rings next week. But I bring it up also because related to some of the stuff, I actually have to hit the road this afternoon as well. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. How about I not die instead? No, I do. I have to hit the road this afternoon. So I may have to deal with some of this feedback later today, rather than right after the show. Nope, I have not had time to even look at the cuckoo clock. It's just sitting on my front, get out of the way a second, try to heal up a smidge, if I can. Nope. Darn it. This is Woe of the Willow. Woe of the Willow. Oh, and actually I need to get the summoning horn. And the reason I don't know that and didn't do it first is because I had my floaty names off because I was hanging out in a public area. And it seemed like a good idea. Yeah. Alright. Hi, Marigold. Sorry, I got started ahead of you a little bit. You know. Yeah. I agree that after the first boss, we could use a little bit of clarity work as to what to do next. Maybe that's something we can act on here in the near future. So yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, I'm not doing anything fancy with my son this next week. Just hanging out and having fun, doing dad-kid things. He's 9 years old. Great age right now. The weather is looking beautiful in Massachusetts right now. We're having like 60-degree days. We even eked up to 70 here. All the winter crud is kind of making its way gone. And yeah, so I don't know. Should be a good time to just kind of hang out in the yard. We drive around some RC cars. You know, I'm sure we'll end up playing some Minecraft. You know, that kind of thing. Hanging out and having fun with my 9-year-old. So that's what I'll be doing some of next week. I am working next week though. I do have to work next week. We have things that are being worked on that I can actually talk about here in a little bit. We have a small patch for next week, although I don't have the release notes for you at the moment. That work has... This is what I'm also doing today. But we have that. I would mention that the Spring Festival runs through April 6th, so, you know, not this weekend. Next weekend will be the final weekend. The Easter weekend will be the final weekend on that one. And, yeah, so we're doing an update 29.0.2 is the current way we're calling it, in-house. And that should be sometime middle of next week and have a few bug fixes in it. Fairly small game update, but it is something that we are working on for next week. Otherwise, we have some pretty big stuff happening here in the pretty near future. You know, clearly, next week begins April. April begins our anniversary month. So, we've got a bunch of anniversary-related work that we're going to be doing. I know we've got like a bull roar or two coming up. We have got the release of Further Adventures happening here not too far away. We have got the release of The Waste, right? Off the top of my head. God, I hope I didn't write about that. The Waste of the Legendary Worlds, right? And all that should be happening in the near future here, so. Bjorn is... I don't know where that's coming from, Bjorn. we have someone in Twitch chat who is mentioning that we have reading some kind of business reports about us doing some kind of drastic changes to cater to a new target audience completely different from the current fan base. That is not happening. I have no idea where that came from. That is not happening. Well, I mean, I don't know what you read. All I can tell you is it's not happening. I have no idea what you're talking about, but we are absolutely not making drastic changes to alienate our existing fan base. Not deliberately, anyway. You know, I can't really comment on that investor presentation that kind of, leaked out, got released, whatever you want to call it, during the EG7 SSG acquisition. All I could say is what we've already said several times about it, which is just remember it's an investor presentation, not a, not a budget document or something like that, so.
That'll teach him not to underestimate us. We've got further to go before we reach the sword.
We do.
And Old Man Willis.
Yes. Also agree it is a little tricky to kind of know where to get around here. I don't think this should just wall up though. Oh, that's the path that you didn't realize existed, huh? Yeah. Yeah, we should put some torches or something maybe there, just to kind of help, call your eye to it, maybe. Wrong way! Oh no. Well. I'll double back then when I'm done with this. Just follow the river? Okay. Yes. Locher will be getting a new class. The Brawler. That people have seen. But I don't have anything more to say about it. At this point, it's still a ways off. Oh, there's just another entrance to it, so I'm assuming. We'll have more information about Brawler as we get probably something closer to like Gundabad would be my guesstimate. Ah, yeah, thank you. So our Moobot channel on Twitch reminded me that we recently did a chat with Scenario. And that's going to be happening in the near future. We're kind of loosely thinking about kicking off kind of our anniversary time frame with another one of those. So I think we're looking at... I'm trying to think. If Easter is April 4th, right? So if Easter is April 4th, then that would be 5th, 6th... So probably the 7th of April, I think, is what we're tentatively targeting our next chat with scenario. And I would assume that he'll be putting up a forum thread to talk about kind of where you want him to go in the near future. So that should be happening within the next couple of weeks as well. We also have an upcoming chat with Sev. That'll be happening on Court of the Rings here. That's... I don't have an exact time frame to announce for that, but that's in the works. For the next couple of weeks as well. So we'll be having that. And then, of course, like I said, we've got our anniversary stuff. In addition to probably something like an update 29.5, which will include, you know, some of that more significant work I referenced earlier related to the Legendary Worlds and anniversary event, like rewards, and things like that. Will Gundabad have more graphics updates like Update 29 had? Are you specifically talking about the maps here? Is that what you're talking about? Or is there something else, I guess, that you are asking about in terms of a graphics update? It's kind of a wide topic. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Oh, the lightning effect, huh? I haven't noticed. Oh, the per pixel lighting attenuation. Yes. Okay, thank you. My brain is now on the right page. Yes. I don't know that we have more lighting work that will be done. There's our sword. That is...
I don't like the look of that sword one bit, and I don't think we ought to touch it either. But if we strike it with everything we've got, even iron has to break.
I noticed...
The forest back to normal.
I mean, I noticed you're still on land there. I'm just saying. It's nice to say that, Marigold. Don't touch the thing when you're sitting on the other side of the bank. Alright, well... Yeah, I don't know specifically about whether we have additional lighting effects. That sounds maybe... not something I'd want to lead someone to think, right? So, I don't know. But, yeah, I would imagine we're going to be seeing various things that could be described as graphics updates throughout the coming year. So whether that ends up being, say, like a per pixel lighting attenuation, or, you know, map work, or perhaps some avatar work, things like that. You know, I do think that we'll be seeing, you know, a fair amount of that. But I don't, you know, this wouldn't be something like, all of a sudden the game looks like it got released in 2021, you know, style overhaul or anything like that. So, put your expectations in check. But, yeah, the kind of thing that you're saying, like with that per pixel lighting, I would imagine we'd like to do as much of that in the coming year as we can fit in. Reaps want their Audacity gear back. Yes. I know. No. We haven't even announced anything like a console version of Lotro, so you know, again, that kind of goes to that speculative investor presentation that got leaked out onto the internet, or released on the internet, as it were. I don't think it actually leaked, right? I think EG7 just released it. Uh, you know, we haven't announced anything like that, so if and when the time would come that we'd be in a position to say something like that, it surely would not be off the top of the community manager's head during a live stream on a Friday at noon. Just saying. I mean, it is a Morgul blade, so... Oh my god. Maybe I should, but I would never want to do a dummy parse on the live stream ever. Can you imagine all that's... What possible benefit would I have to dummy parse on the live stream other than I just set myself up for years of torment and ridicule? So no, I will not be doing that. I'm sorry I'm not good enough. Sorry I'm not good enough. I just fail. I am just a bad person. I should be ashamed.
Something new about my friend Tom every day. Well, never mind. It's time we went home and gave the Bounders good news.
Yeah. Okay. This is a really cool looking tree. The lighting makes my eyes pop? Oh, you mean like in terms of the glasses? Maybe. Yeah. I cannot tell you what a brawler's main weapon would be. Other than... No. Sorry, I can't even say that. I don't know. Let's go into the other one. This is Agoroth, the Narrow Delve. Agoroth, the Narrow Delve. And again, I'm dropping it down.
Deep in the frozen wilds of Forachel, the Arnorian fortress Agoroth lies hidden. Although no living souls have set foot there for thousands of years, thou now findest thyself in a race to reach its vault before the forces of Anmar.
Let's check in chat real quick. Brawler, I think Brawler's gonna be pretty cool. You know, it's a brawler. Think about what that means. There we are. Yes. Thank you, SM Louisel, for bringing up the customer service post. That was something I was actually intending to get to quite a bit earlier in the show than now. Sorry about that. Let me go call that up and talk a little bit about what's going on.
This ice sounds quite thin, and I think I hear something on the other side. We may be able to break through this.
Well, how do we break through this? Oh. There it is.
Intruders! You, alert Igris at once! We have almost broken through to the fortress. We cannot allow our work to be interrupted.
Interrupted, you say? Okay. So, there was a thread that we posted up this week that I'm gonna get to in just a little bit here. So, the message is as follows. In recent weeks, we've been experiencing a slowdown caused by technical issues that has impacted the ability of our customer service agents to respond in a timely manner to your in-game issues. And we do want you to know that we are working to resolve these technical issues as our highest priority. We do know that you've been waiting longer than you would expect to hear back from us, and we are working to return our ticketing system to a more responsive experience as quickly as possible. We are specifically having an issue where our customer service tool set is not functioning as it needs to in order for our customer service agents to do everything they need to do all the time. And that has led to some pretty significant delays that you have been seeing in recent weeks, if you've been trying to contact customer service. Working on those issues to bring those tools back is literally the top priority. It has been going on for a couple days now, and we are near the tail end of that work. So the expectation is that in the very near future, that those technical issues will be a thing of the past. I think literally as of about an hour and a half ago, they did the final piece of work they were planning to do on it. So, as soon as that gets done, our customer service agents will be back up to 100%, and we'll be working to tear through, really, the backlog being caused by this. So, however, that does mean that there is a backlog, and yes, we are running slow. We recognize that, and we just want you to know that we know, we're working on it. It is our highest priority. Specifically, and I'm not going to get too into the weeds here, but it would be things like a CS agent would suddenly not be able to see what gear you have. You know, maybe you might need to do that. You know, that kind of thing. And that is what we've been having to struggle with. The CS agents in particular have been having to struggle with in recent weeks, along with you. It's one of those things that kind of began small, started growing, and it just got worse and worse, and it kind of eventually hit a crisis point that you've been experiencing, and it became something not so much an internal tools issue discussion as, hey, we need to actually get the word out about kind of what's going on here, because it has been like this for a little while, and we want people to understand that our CS team is doing the best they can, and we are working 100%, all hands on deck, basically crisis mode to get this thing fixed. So. don't actually see anything over here. Supposed to, like, go in the tent, maybe? No? Alright. I thought I would be making progress by doing this. Alright, well not. Guess. Do I have enough aggro there? Well, I survived. Lojo for smartphone, please. Hashtag. That would be a challenge, would it not? I mean, honestly, you know, someone I brought up earlier about this whole kind of console thing. And how would you even deal with something like, you know, all the keyboard work you have to do and all that. Ultimately, that is clearly, yes, one of the big things that you got to figure out if we were ever to do something like that. But I would point out that for really even since the PlayStation 3 days, Xbox 360 days, you could plug in a keyboard to your console and it would basically just work. So, you know, especially as we all get to this blended future where we have like one box that controls all of our entertainment and what have you, I actually think we're going to have a lot more just kind of like keyboards in our laps instead of remote controls. It's not going to happen yet, but it'll happen eventually. I see a future where we're connecting to our consoles on Bluetooth and we have keyboards with little cup holders on the side that cost a ridiculous amount of money. This is annoying me, so I'm going to fix it. You're right. I tend to find myself forgetting about the VIP perk. I just keep forgetting to talk to the person. Plain and simple. Alright, let me head on over to YouTube here. I don't see anything I can answer. Someone wants me to talk about Freep Audacity gear, but there's nothing to say there. As far as I'm aware, you know, it's still, who knows, it's an idea that we could do someday. Reminder that you're still whining about Curator. No, it's not whining. Yes. We have not had time to work on our Curator schedule, other than sort of the immediate need. So, my understanding is we will be having that discussion relatively soon here. And hey, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, just sitting here on a Friday afternoon, I don't see why we couldn't release the Curator around the anniversary time frame. That sounds like a thing to me. But I'm not the one who would get to make that decision, so. You know, speaking of a lot of mobs, I don't know that it seems very wise for me to run up to these people. Perhaps I ought not. Alright. I'm here. Yeah, there you are. Lyran, I don't know. Someone basically wants to know if we're ever bringing Chance Thomas back. Right now, we are thrilled with the work being done by our in-house composer. Not that we don't like dance or anything. There can be more than one good musician in the world, right? Or composer in the world. But the reality is, we've been real happy with the music work that's been being done in-house here. And so I'm not sure that there's a lot of opportunity there right now. for us to collaborate with Chance. But I'm sure, you know, should that a good opportunity arise, you know, of course, right? Of course we'd work with them again, sure. However, I bring that up because this is now the tail end of Lochra Week over on Huge Sound Records. So I'm not going to go into the history of Huge Sound Records. It's not really my story to tell. But they recently relaunched and are able to reoffer the Mordor soundtrack digitally and the 10th anniversary soundtrack for Lochra, both digitally and
Excellent. I am eager to leave this frozen pit for good. No one warned me of the smell of a wet Garadon.
Contempt is mutual witch. Once you master us his prize, our pact is broken.
Intruders approach from behind!
sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. We were talking about the curator for the anniversary and how that sounds cool.
No! We are so close! Almarine, Garadine, deal with this problem. We must contain the monster at once.
Aye, defeating both the leader of the Angmarim and the chieftain of the Gold.
Oh my god. Angmarim? Are you saying Angmarim? Are you saying me going Angmarim ain't correct? Oh. Angmarim. Well, there's a Tolkien word for you. Oh, by the way, how many of you celebrated Tolkien Reading Day yesterday? That was yesterday. That's kind of this annual thing done by the Tolkien Reading Society. The official Tolkien Reading Day was yesterday. If you missed it, well, hey, you can still get any day can be Tolkien Reading Day. As long as you carry a book both in your heart and in your hands. Yeah, that's right. So Chance Thomas had put out a call for character screenshots to just kind of help celebrate and get some fun stuff for Lochra Week. So the community, as was hoped, was fabulous in providing Chance with some great character images. And so they're all up there. So your character may be on Huge Sound Records website if you submitted one. I have to admit, because of everything I was mentioning earlier, both related to work and real-life obligations, I have not had time for about a week and a half here to do much of anything other than just obligations. So I've not had an opportunity to participate in Tolkien Reading Day. But I will make a note of it tonight. What I have been doing, though, and I know that this is an experience familiar to many, many, many Lochra players, that being, I have been re-watching the extended editions of the OG Jackson movies. Just on DVD, because that's all I got. I still have the old nice box set of that. The one with the little Warner Brothers or New Line Cinema slipcase that it came with. You know, maybe I should get out of the fire. Maybe I should get out of the fire, huh? I have not heard of any rumors that we're overhauling the crafting system. Are we probably working on crafting in the next year? Gosh, I have to assume so. But I haven't heard of any, like, big overhaul plans for it. Ah! That didn't go very well. Alright. Try it again. Oh, where can you get the soundtracks right now? Yes. That is why I'm saying this. So let me actually just get you the website. I'll drop it into chat here. And you can take a look. As far as I'm aware, I don't think we, like we SSG or Daybreak or I think this is all just Chance's kind of operation. I don't think we're getting any. I mean, I don't know where the revenue stuff is. It all falls down on this stuff, so I don't know. But my understanding is this is basically just a Chance thing. So lest you think I'm trying to do some kind of big advertisement or something. No. I have a Lochor coffee mug. I would like you to have a Lochor coffee mug. I don't know what we might ever be able to do there. But I sure too would love to see us be able to offer some version of physical swag like that someday. Someday. Am I going the right way? Or am I just totally going the wrong way? Alright. Let's try this again. Just to be on the safe side. Let's buff second. Quick buff. It's non-combat. Get out of combat. Alright, well, whatever. We'll give it a shot. See what happens. He's back up to full health, though, unfortunately. Alright, this time I'm going to be a little smarter about it. And, maybe not stand in the gigantic pits of combat fire. Like that. I need more interrupts. I really do. I'm gonna have to work on this character. Obviously, I need to work on this character a lot, but I need to work on this character a bit to give myself at least a second interrupt that'll help when the other one's on cooldown. Oof. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I think this one might be a little bit beyond me. We'll have to. I think maybe we'll just let's we've got 5 minutes left. Let's not give that one a shot for now. That was a little hard. All right. Well, there we are. We do not have an online merchandise shop, so The longer story on that is that Lord of the Rings Online has a more flexible ability to merchandise itself than the other game, which has a specific merchandising license in addition to, say, you have an IP license. So, for example, if you want to make a D&D t-shirt, right? You have to be licensed in order to be able to sell a D&D t-shirt with the people in charge of the Dungeons & Dragons IP. Specifically for the Lord of the Rings Online, we don't have a restriction in place like that. But we also don't have an actual setup in place to facilitate, any kind of physical swag. Outside of the sort of in-house things that we would do for conventions, in-person meetups, things like that. So what that means is that there isn't really a prohibition, but there also isn't the necessary work that's been done in order to, say, have officially licensed Lotro hoodies or whatever that we could then sell. Because there would be a question, of course, of, all the license holders and people who deserve a share of the revenue for that kind of thing, right? We want to, need to make sure that they are properly getting what they get and all that. So really what we're looking at is a whole bunch of lawyers from all sorts of different people are going to have to get together and do that work. And it just has never been able to really kind of get off the ground over the years. Whether due to complexity or cost or available resources. I mean, it's just one of those things that outside of conventions and that there's never really been a time where we didn't want to do it. It's just that there's never really been a time that it was able to move forward outside of the we should do that someday stage. And that's really where the Lord of the Rings Online is. It would be a very complex task in order to do that. We'd have to figure out all the stuff like, well, who's going to supply the t-shirts? Are they ethically sourced, You don't want to be giving slave shops money and things, right? Is the quality where it needs to be? Can the cost come in? I mean, there's just like all this stuff with physical swag that has been a little bit, it's been the reason why this stuff hasn't been able to really happen, even though there's never been a formal prohibition or anything stopping us from doing it. All right. But, yes. I think we full well know that if we offered, Lotra logo t-shirts and we're able to maybe make them come in at whatever standard internet t-shirt pricing is nowadays, it's about $20-$25. It's kind of expensive. But that's because you're doing printing shop stuff, right? I have a feeling we'd sell a few. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up then with the show. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Again, a quick reminder, I'm not here next week, so I will see you in 2 weeks for Court of the Rings. We will also then, that following week, before I next see you, we're going to be probably having our chat with Scenario, so I'll be hanging out in chat then. That is set for Wednesday, April 7th. And, yeah, that's about it. So, hope you're having a good time. Hope you're enjoying the Spring Festival. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for playing Lotro. If I don't see you before next Thursday, happy getting ready for our anniversary, and I will see you again soon.